YouTube land. Are you ready for another official Junky Spot review? Well, today I actually have some pretty interesting friends here. These are going to be the Junky Spot exclusive Freya cat dolls. So if by the time you're done watching this review and you're like, OMG, I need one, you can totally go ahead and stop on by the Junky Spot. They should be hopefully coming to us very soon, so please keep an eye on the site as well as the Facebook page to get more information as to when these awesome cat dolls will be out. The Hujoo Freya. So before I start the review like I normally do and give you all the specs and all that fun stuff, I am going to go ahead and give you the disclaimer that these two that I have with me today are actually prototypes. So by the time the actual product comes out, a couple of things which I'll be able to show you today may be different from the ones that will be sold. So now that we have that out of the way, let's go ahead and give you some measurements for these Freyas. So our Freyas are going to be in that 24-26 centimeter range. They will be using like a 16 to an 18 millimeter eye. Their head is about 19 centimeters. The chest is going to be a 10.5. The waist is an 8 centimeter waist. The hips are at 11, and the foot is going to be a tad bit bigger than your 3.5 since we've got little cat paws, little cat feet at the bottom of our doll. And as you notice on our Freyas here, the bodies that they're using is pretty much, you know, the same as the other Hujoo girl bodies that are available through Hujoo. So I'm not going to get too in-depth about the bodies. I'm just going to be super excited to show you the head and all the cool stuff that's inside. And, of course, those lovable, awesome cat paws and the tail. So let's go ahead and get started, and just wanted to go ahead and give you a very nice view on the face. It is a really, really pretty cat face. It has detail here for our little nose and for our mouth. We even have some detail going on right here where our eyelid would be. Oh, and by the way, another thing, if you are looking at these eyes and you're just like, wow, these are super cool, these are actually going to be some other eyes that Hujoo is currently working on. These are cat's eyes. And if you like them, please make sure to leave a comment for us down below in the comments bars down there, so that way we can kind of get a feel for what you guys like. And these are, I believe these are 18 millimeter acrylics, so they are very, very pretty. And the ones that are in the gray one are like a purple. So these are the ones that are in the gray Freya. Alrighty, so the fun part to talk about, which is going to be our head. If you can see just by looking at it here, the head is actually cast really nicely as far as thickness goes and, you know, stability and all that fun stuff. It is going to be a different type of head cap system per se, in the sense that we actually have almost like a faceplate system going on, to where when you separate the two pieces, this whole face part will come off and it leaves you with the back of the head here. So like our other Hujoo dolls, you do have to kind of work it back and forth in order to get our head cap off, but it does come off, and you'll see, ta-da! Some new stuff in here. Let's take a quick look into this, what we have right here. This, let me tell you right off the bat, there's a little silicone piece that's here that's keeping the knot up and out of the neck. That is going to be one of our changes that you may be seeing since this is a prototype. It may actually be replaced with a metal ring instead. So don't be surprised if you do order it and it's not the silicone ring instead. They are trying their very, very best to make sure that this is the most awesomest doll ever. So, like I said, this is the prototype. It may change by the time, you know, actual dolls are out. But looking at this, you'll see that, wow, there is a bunch of different things from your standard other Hujoo heads that you've seen before. They have this whole bottom part here, and it is held together with the pegs. The pegs that are here, and this one here, and these two down here connect to the other parts that are on the other side of the head. I think that's awesome. The more pegs, the more stable it'll be holding it together, which is good. The other fun part is this right here. If you ever did need to restring or take apart the Freya, The cool thing is the knot and the tie will just go ahead and slip right through here. This thing prevents it from slipping off of it right now for the time being. But if you did, you could go ahead and remove this part here, and then you could go ahead and take the string off. That way you're not having to worry about untying it or anything like that if this was a connected piece. That's why that's open there. This is also our other fun part to look at, the other side of the head. As you notice, there's a different kind of eyelet system. This, like I said, this is all prototype stuff. Might change, might not change. This system that they have is a full piece of silicone that will go ahead and help you put in the eyes. Essentially with what it is that it's this piece right here hanging on this peg and then these two pegs up here. Very similar to the other eye devices that they have for the other Hujoo dolls, except this is all one joined piece. I think that's pretty awesome. That kind of, you know, gives you less stuff to do. You just kind of just whoop, pop that in there, and then you can go ahead and adjust your eyes by using the stems and all that good stuff. So I'm just adjusting right now, and I mean, you could go ahead and put this down here to tighten it and make sure your eyes are in place. So very, very cool little gadget that they have inside of their heads, which avoids you having to, you know, get putty or anything like that to put the eyes in. So that's what that piece is right there. Everything else, you know, is the opposite sides of the pegs that were over there on that side of the head. So the two will go here, there's one that goes up here, and then the two that are down here. So as you can see, when you put the head back together, all the pegs will match, and then you go ahead and press it, and that'll hold it closed. Ta-da! Now everything's back together, and it's nicely snapped back on. Let's go ahead and talk about some mobility for our head that we have here. Since it's a different headpiece than your other Hujoo friends, it does move a bit differently, which is pretty cool considering it's a cat type doll. So the movements that it has are very easy to get into. So you can do some tilts to the sides. You can go ahead and look to different angles. You can look down. And you can also click up really nicely. Look at that. You have your forward position here that is locked into place because when you look at your head up here, ta-da! Hujoo and its nice, infamous, awesome, cool notches and fun stuff that they have whenever they do their dolls. So you can see that there's a dip right there in the neck piece, and there is a piece of ABS that sticks out right there on the top. Which, by the way, if I did not mention at the start of this video, these are ABS dolls, which means that that's super awesome for those who are looking for an affordable doll because ABS is considerably cheaper than resin. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these dolls. Everything else about the body is pretty much the same as our other Hujoo friends as far as mobility goes. You know, the arms can go out to these extents here. They do have this extra floating piece that is here inside of the shoulder that goes ahead and, you know, gives it that kind of aspect of, you know, realism, and also kind of helps hold poses and whatnot. Your arm that is here is your basic two pieces, one right here and one right here. And it kind of works at a 90-degree angle here. Very simple, nice, easy stuff. If you want a more in-depth review on everything, I will go ahead and link some of the other Hujoo videos that I've done with this body that kind of go more in depth. The big thing that you're going to be looking at that is a big difference between these bodies and the other ones also are these lovely cat paws. As you can see, we have cat paws instead of hands. So cute. In our cat paws, we actually have two pieces for the hand. You have this floating piece here, and then you have this piece right here that is connected to the actual paw that has a hook on it. That is awesome because you don't have to worry about trying to thread the elastic through. You can just use loops like you would your other BJDs, which is very convenient having those S-hook type deals. Well, this is your S-hook for the hands, and they have this hook also for the foot as well that I can show you. As far as mobility goes, it can move down to an extent and it can move up, and then of course it can rotate all the way around. Our torso can move side to side like this, and she can move up and she can go down like that. The other place, which is down here where the hips are, I have gone into detail in my other videos. If you want to see more about that, you're more than welcome to go ahead and take a look at those videos. Like I said, they are going to be put in the description box. But basically, it's really nice, the system that they have in place right here for their swiveling thigh. They actually have like a locking mechanism that's in here that has grooves and like a kind of a gear type deal going on. That way, when you shift it and when you move it, it'll click, and that prevents it from swinging around and going all sorts of different crazy places and all that fun stuff. So excellent, cool feature that they have that enables your doll to sit nicely too as well. Going down to our legs, it's the really cool type of double jointed system that they have to where it can bend once and then it can bend again, so you have a complete bend here going on for your doll, which enables them to kind of do kneeling or crouching or all that fun stuff here because of this system that they have put in place. Now, our feet was another new item that we have, since this is, you know, a cat type doll. They are like cat feet. They have little claws and all that stuff, so that's like a nicer close-up of our feet. As you can see, very similar to our hands, they do have a floating piece that is located down here, as well as a hook. That hook is very helpful, like I mentioned before, for restringing and all that other fun stuff, and your elastic will go ahead and go onto that hook. As far as mobility goes for our feet, they can move down to an extent and up as well. The super duper cool feature about having cat-like feet like this is that it has a wider area, and therefore they actually stand pretty well on their own. The other fun thing that I'm going to share with you is the information on the tail. It is magnetic. As you can see on this Freya here, it's actually taped to her body. I am not 100% sure on the details as far as the magnets are going to go, you know, since this is the prototype, but I believe it's going to be like most of your other magnet items. They're going to provide the magnets to you, and that way you can customize where and how it's going to be put onto the doll, which is pretty awesome, because you could either try to go ahead and put it inside of the bottom piece, or you could actually just have it on the outside. It'll be all up to you. So here is our tail. The tail has the magnet on it here, and so bloop, it'll click on just like that. Or if you don't want the tail on, you can just take it off since it's a magnet and all that fun stuff. As far as where to place the magnet and what might be best, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal if it's on the outside, really. That'll provide the strongest, you know, strength for the magnet, and it really doesn't show up all that much when you're looking at it when it's on the doll here. And when you look at it, I mean, you can just see the tail there, and it's not that, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And mainly if you're going to be clothing your cat. Even if you don't clothe your cat, I mean, you won't really, it's not like that big of a difference, like if you can see it like, oh my gosh, this huge magnet is sticking out. It's not that bad. So it'll be pretty much up to you, and I believe that's what Hujoo is going to be doing, is they're going to leave it up to you. They'll go ahead and send you the magnets and the tail, and you kind of decide what you want to do with it. And I think that pretty much covers it for my review. I think that this is actually a really cool thing that Hujoo is doing, and it's really awesome that it's exclusive to the Junky spot. If you are interested in getting some type of anthro doll, I think this is probably a really good option to go by. I don't have a final price for it yet. I want to say it should be maybe in the $50 range, which is not bad at all if you're looking into anthros, since the current anthros that are out right now are all resin. This is kind of like maybe one of the first ones that are pretty much just ABS, which ABS is not bad at all. It's really, really nice, and it's cool because it's not going to be as fragile as resin. They have a little bit more durability to them. And you can still do all the stuff that you would do on resin to ABS. You can do face-ups on these, you can do modifications, all that fun stuff. So, if you are interested, please stop on by www.junkyspot.com to check out more on these awesome new dolls that Hujoo is going to be selling exclusively for the Junky spot. I hope you all enjoyed this sneak peek, and I hope that it helped those that were interested or curious about these Freya dolls that will be coming up very soon at the Junky spot. Stick around for some pictures of the dolls and their cool little poses, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye guys! Bye!